It is time for Detroit Lions rumors for today, the day before the Thanksgiving Day game, and we got a good one for you regarding Jared Goff and Anthony Lynn. Also, we're going to talk about a little bit of news about Tommy Kraemer and the annual Thanksgiving Day game. Also, will the Lions have a Bears head coach fired? We'll talk about that and score prediction. Before we get into the rumors and the news of today, if you would like to know what it feels like to jump into a wood chipper, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel because I talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors, and we get chewed up quite a bit as being a Lions fan. Also, take that like button and throw it into the wood chipper as well. Let's cut it into many different pieces. Let's start with today's Lions rumors.
It's LeGarrette Blount here, man, 3-time Super Bowl champion. I just want to give you a shout out to the YouTube channel, MicroMike, man.
Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch MicroMike on YouTube.
Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron. Big shout out to MicroMike and YouTube channel, man.
Keep on talking everything Detroit Lions, and I just got to remind you, man, happy wife, happy life.
First off, Tommy Kraemer is going to get a start for the Detroit Lions. If you don't know, Tommy Kraemer was an undrafted rookie, one of the guys I thought would make this football team and be a decent impact for the Lions. 4-year starter there for the Irish. Now he comes to Detroit. He's going to be starting Thanksgiving Day game due to the injuries that we have sustained on the offensive line. Now, when it comes to our head coach, Dan Campbell, he has full trust in a capability of Tommy Kraemer to work well on this offensive line. Do I believe it? Yes, I do, because first off, Tommy Kraemer is a solid player. He was a solid starter for the Irish. He's been a solid contributor throughout so far his time being on the practice squad, active roster, back and forth so far, and we've seen what our offensive line coach can do to our players, and he puts them in positions to succeed, and I have full capability and full trust that Tom Kraemer will do the exact same thing this Thursday against the Chicago Bears. So I'm excited to see him play. He's one of the guys that throughout this NFL season we've been saying we want to see some players get some playing time. He's one of those guys I love to see get more playing time, because if he continues to be good and he performs well on Thursday, that is probably one position we don't have to look towards the draft. If he can be that individual for the future, you always want to look to see what young guys can perform well, who has a future for this football team. Let's get to 200 likes in this video. All you got to do is smash that like button. That's how it pushes the content out there, and it would be really appreciated if you could do that for me. Let's get this video pushed out. When it talks about future, we got to talk about Shawn, as he was placed on injured reserve. He was a talented defensive lineman that we got a couple years ago in the draft, but there is something that always happens to him. He is always freaking injured. Every single year, he is injured more than he plays. This guy is a problem when it comes to the injury report itself. He fills it up. No, he's a player who the Detroit Lions do not have to re-up his contract, and I think he played his last snap for the Detroit Lions last week, as I don't believe he will come back as a Detroit Lion, and he shouldn't, because he cannot stay healthy. The best ability is availability, and we cannot count on a guy to consistently just be injured. I would rather have players who are not injured, maybe a less talented, than somebody who's just consistently injured. Shawn, I wish him best of luck on his endeavors going forward after the season, but it looks like it's not going to be with the Lions. Now, last week, a rumor popped up that Jared Goff and Anthony Lynn were not getting along. There was a rift between the two, as well as Dan Campbell. Jared Goff came out yesterday and stated everything is fine with Anthony Lynn and himself. I'm going to call the BS flag on that. I totally do not believe everything is fine with him and Anthony Lynn. I do believe that there is a rift. You don't take away play calling from Dan Campbell. And then after that was taking place, Jared Goff says, had a great time with Dan Campbell's play calling. That was after the first week of taking place. Clearly, there is a rift. Who is going to win? Jared Goff versus Anthony Lynn in this battle? Well, it's clearly going to be Jared Goff, because I believe fully that Anthony Lynn will be let go after the season, as the offense is completely tanked, and we have invested a lot of money in Jared Goff. He will be here next year. So when it comes to the two fighting, Jared Goff is going to win. Anthony Lynn is going to lose. Who is really right upon this rift? Well, I think they're both having major issues. Obviously, Jared Goff having issues throwing the football. Anthony Lynn having issues play calling, except for the last 2 weeks because that was Dan Campbell. The offense is dysfunctional. It's decimated, defecated, and desecrated this season. It is one of the worst in the NFL. By the end of the year, it will be one of the worst in the NFL. The issue is, can Dan Campbell find an offensive coordinator, a great offensive mind that can get along with Jared Goff, a guy who is having issues? That is going to be the biggest question mark, and that is the biggest problem that must be taken care of before next year, because we've got to have this offense squared away. It's got to be better than what we have seen, because if it's like this next year, heads are going to be rolling, and there's going to be a lot of angry fans, a lot of angry individuals out there that are upset with the lack of performance on offense. Do you believe there is a rift between Jared Goff and offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn? Let me know in the comment section. Why for yes and for no? Real simple. Do you believe there is a rift? We have the Thanksgiving Day game tomorrow, and it's going to be a fun one because I'm going to be there. Make sure you guys try to see. Maybe I can pop out. That would be freaking hilarious. Maybe I'll put on a Spider-Man mask or something like that to be seen. But the annual tradition of getting coaches fired on Thanksgiving looks to be the case tomorrow. That is what we look forward to on the annual Thanksgiving Day game. Last year, Pat Matricia was fired from the Detroit Lions. We lost. And guess what? It looks like we can repay the favor to the Chicago Bears, and it looks like their head coach could potentially be fired on Thanksgiving, the day after, whatever it could be. And that's funny. Will the Detroit Lions get this guy fired? Potentially, very well could. Look, I'm not rooting for him to get fired. I like the dysfunction in Chicago. If we want to win games at some point going forward, you'd love to have Matt Nagy under the helm as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. So hopefully he does not get fired, but more than likely he's going to be fired. Whether it be tomorrow, whether it be the next day, whether it be after the season, it looks like the Detroit Lions, and again, is going to make some noise by getting coaches fired. It's now become the annual tradition, and it's starting to become funny. Let's talk about the Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears. Right now, the over and under is +4 for the Detroit Lions. Vegas believes that the Chicago Bears is going to win the game by 4 points. Hey, I would definitely probably not go ahead and bet against that. I think that seems about right. What is my score prediction for the game? What is my prediction for the Detroit Lions? As you know, I think this may be the last stop for the Lions to potentially not go 0-16. I think if they're to win a game, this would be the game for them to not go winless. This game is massive for everybody, for the Detroit Lions staff, for the fan base as well, for the draft. This is a big deal because if the Lions lose this game, it definitely looks like they're going to go 0-16. If the Lions can win this game, they can stop that massive failure of going winless. My score prediction is as follows. The Detroit Lions will lose this game 21-17. I think the +4 spread is right. I still think the Chicago Bears are better than the Detroit Lions. We have issues all over this football team, and the offense is not going to get better, in my opinion, this year. You're going to have to wait till next year because we're talentless. We have issues with calling plays. We got issues with players, all sorts of dysfunction. The Chicago Bears, I have winning this game. Make some money. Go to chatsports.com/LionsBet. That is BetUS. Put in the promo code Lions125. You get a 125% deposit bonus. Right now, the spread is +4 for the Detroit Lions. I would not bet against that. I actually think that's a good bet. But if you feel different, then go ahead and make that bet with Lions versus Bears. Chatsports.com/LionsBet. No One Pride podcast tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving. I'm going to be at the game, then driving back. FYI, if people get upset, Do not expect that to occur. Now, I may do a post video following the game. We'll got to see the connection that I have on my cell phone. Maybe I'll go live at Ford Field. We'll try to see. I'm just not 100% sure how the Wi-Fi will work for this. So stand by. I'll try to give you some sort of content if I can. If I can't, again, don't get mad. It's Wi-Fi, and when I do get home from the game, I'm going to be eating Thanksgiving dinner with the family. I'm not going to be making a video, so it'd have to be after the game while I'm in the vehicle or at Ford Field itself. Also, Friday, I will drop a video. Saturday, I have a video for you as well. Sunday, I'm going to be taking a break, so I will not be doing any live streams, anything like that. I'm going to enjoy the day with the family and enjoy a day without Detroit Lions content. Then we'll get back on board with the normal schedule going forward.